All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Talk about everything in terms of professional wrestling. So, just kind of reflect on what we talked about real quick. We talked about my WWE SmackDown preview. We also talked about my Thursday Night Wrestling review. We also talked about the top 10 men in professional wrestling. We also talked about the top 10 women in professional wrestling. So make sure you check those videos out on the GSMC podcast, YouTube, also the GSMC Sports YouTube as well. Make sure you check those out, along with all the other podcasts from all the other guys. So let's go ahead and move on. So we got done talking about the power rankings. You know what I mean. So now we're going to talk about the news. It's breaking news time, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and start. First and foremost, we got Zilla Fatu is no longer with the GCW. Does this have implications of him debuting on WWE sooner rather than later? Rikishi said in a podcast, in one of his podcasts, I think it's Off the Top or whatever, that he feels like Fatu needs a little bit more, experience inside the ring, because if you go into the ring in WWE and you just look awful, without the training, it's not going to look good. I know right now he's training, under the performance of like Booker T. I think he has a wrestling, training center or something like that. So it's a possibility. It can be that, like, they're kind of telling Zia to be like, hey, dude, let's hurry this up so you can be part of this bloodline civil war. So I definitely think that's a possibility. Obviously it looks exactly like his dad. It's kind of crazy, but definitely could be the future of WWE as well. Still young, still such a young guy. So maybe pumping the brakes a little bit here on, his debut in WWE. But overall, I feel like it would make sense, especially right now during this whole Survivor Series thing. It's a possibility, but it was kind of shocking to see that, he got let go from the GCW. Maybe like, some animosity between everybody. Maybe like, I don't know. I just, definitely was a bombshell to me. I was shocked. Next, we got Matt Cardona. If he makes it back to WWE, would vows to make an absolute difference, which is, I like that. I would love to see Matt Cardona back to WWE. Obviously, he's not the same Zack Ryder anymore. People know that, you know, um, he looks different. I doubt, more or less of the younger wrestling fans would really know who Zack Ryder was, with Mojo Rally and the woo woo woo, it. But I liked Zack Ryder. I thought he was, I thought it was pretty cool. I also liked Heath Slater. Heath Slater was badass as well. But Matt Cardona, if he makes it on if he goes on SmackDown, he could definitely be a heavyweight title contender right off the bat. That'd be pretty badass. Or against the LA Knight, you know. All I see in his foreseeable future in WWE is this opportunity in WWE can see dollar signs because people follow this guy. People love this guy. This guy's married to Chelsea Green. So, well, not, I think his fiance or dating or whatever. I'm not too sure if they're married. But, more or less, would love to see Matt Cardona inside WWE once again, but more like an aggressive kind of, like the way he is in TNA. So I definitely would love to see that. Chad Gable confirms that he's going to be an ambassador for the Special Olympics in Minnesota 2026. That's obviously his home state. That's just that's just Chad. What Chad? Chad. I'm just kidding. No. I think this is great for Chad Gable. When he turned heel against Sami Zayn, I at first didn't like it. I thought, it would probably end more badly than good. It seemed like it was going well. Obviously him trashing the Alpha Academy and then teaming up with American Made and having these, promos where, they look like, oh, I can't really say that on this podcast. Uh, but, and now you have Chad. He's such a great guy. Like he has that great guy mentality. It kind of reminds me of, like, obviously I like your younger Kurt Angle, but he's in the WWE every single match he fights. He's just, he makes it prestigious. If you're fighting against Chad Gable, you could be like a second-rate wrestler, somebody that's being brought, that's, kind of being brought up by WWE personnel to kind of be trained up. I think the first opponent fighting Chad Gable would be great. Kind of, I feel like that's the reason why they had Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, go against Chad Gable because Chad Gable could definitely, this is probably the best warm-up match you can possibly have, the best technical wrestler that WWE has on its roster, and it's kind of cool how he's willing to give back and stuff like that. And the Special Olympics is badass. It's super cool to watch. All these athletes have so much fun, so much fun. Do it all for the fun. You know what I mean? Like, I think in my community college days, I was doing the school newspaper and I covered they had a Special Olympics held at the school, and I don't know, it was just cool. You know what I mean? Like it was nice to see these guys actually go out there and kick total ass. Obviously, they are a little mentally impaired, but they still can do things that I couldn't do. And I was like, man, that's it was heartwarming. It was definitely heartwarming because these guys obviously are inspirations and stuff like that. So 1,010% love what Chad Gable's doing. I think it's great, and even more respect and more likeness for Chad Gable here. All right, Tony Khan defends his early booking of Will Ospreay and Ricochet. He's been, kind of, when I saw the promo, when I found out they were going against each other, to be honest, it kind of gave me a red flag as well. I was like, dude, what are you doing? This is way too serious. This is way too early too. And Tony Khan said at the 5-year anniversary AEW Dynamite, and on the roster they have unlimited amount of talent and great matches, and they do, which they do, and that's definitely something that I, kind of throw flowers at Tony Khan for. You know what I mean? Like everybody in AEW seems like you have more top guys than WWE has. You have more mid card guys than WWE has. The women's division is great. So overall, this, basically he just says, you know what? Yeah, it's a little too early, but we have all the talent in the world, so we can just keep doing good matches. So it's not like it's not gonna spoil or it's not gonna stop anything. And Ricochet and Will Ospreay definitely have the chemistry, the in-ring capabilities to, have maybe like seven, like even seven or like six matchups, and everybody would be on the edge of their seats. So I don't think it's, it's like, oh, he's doing it way too soon. You're kind of, popping off a little too early there. I think it's just, him kind of being kind of flexing a little bit, be like, hey, dude, we have a bunch of stars. It's not like, we needed this in our back pocket to draw fans and stuff like that, which AEW Dynamite actually, did pretty good in the ratings. It, kind of went up higher. So that's kind of cool. All right, NXT taping for November 5th has been canceled at the Performance Center, which means that they're probably going to host it in another city. That's my guess. NXT's big. NXT's, bigger, better, and stronger than ever right now. They have a kick-ass women's division. Their men's division as well. Trick Williams is great. I like what they're doing with Oba Femi, the whole, Tony D'Angelo at the time. Even the no quarter catch crew, Tabian Heights is pretty damn impressive to watch. Javon Evans going against the Apex Predator Randy Orton in St. Louis, Missouri. So yeah, the taping's canceled probably because they're probably going to kind of have another venue in mind to host NXT. All right, next Miro asks for a release from AEW. Not really a surprise here. He's been off of AEW TV for quite some time. His bookings have been, kind of pitter patter here and there, but definitely recently he's been going through you know personal relationship troubles and stuff like that. But coming back to the WWE could be interesting. Could be interesting, but I really he would have to take. I don't know. I don't know what WWE would offer him, but it still kind of seems like he has a lot left in the tank. I remember when he was Rusev, and he was just I think something brute. No, damn it, I can't even think of it. Oh, it's gonna haunt me all night. I gotta Google it as soon as I get done with the show. He used to have the flag come out with the long hair. He looks totally different. But 1,010%. If he does come back to the WWE roster, maybe debuts in NXT. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. You know what I mean? I feel like that'd be a good booking for WWE, but I don't think he's going to get as much money as he probably made going to AEW. So, Miro ask AEW to be released. Next, we have Monday Night Raw. We'll go back to 3 hours as soon as it hits Netflix. We all, I kind of saw this coming. I was like, 2 hours, like a 2 hour show, like you don't, it's not enough. You have so many, you have so much superstars that you got to take care of in terms of the creativity and the storylines and stuff like that. So, I was really pleased to hear this, that they're going back to 3 hours. You don't have to push certain storylines like over the top too early. I kind of saw that promo with the New Day, on Monday Night Raw, and I was like, all right, here we go. Here comes the pushing. You know what I mean? Because if you're moving to 2 hours, then essentially you're going to have to, cut things out and only leave PLE worthy promos. And right now the New Day isn't really, not really there. You know what I mean? Obviously, I would have loved them winning the championships. I kind of picked them to win because right now this JD McDonough Finn Balor thing doesn't really seem like it fits because Finn is the leader of the Judgment Day, the new Judgment Day, or the street trash or whatever they like to call themselves. So I think he makes more of a statement going after a singles title as opposed to holding a tag team, one half of the tag team title belt. So I don't know, kind of crazy. All right, it's been reported that the Lucha Brothers have signed with WWE, reportedly. So I I'm happy. I'm happy that these Ray Fenix and also Penta El Zero Miedo is coming to WWE. More of a, I feel like it's a huge push for WWE, especially since they want to kind of go, across the brand, have more shows in Puerto Rico, inside Mexico City. They had a super show not so long ago, and it went very, very well. It's kind of cool to see more, more of the Hispanic, Mexican culture wrestlers. Like I think it's cool. You know what I mean? I know WWE in the past, which worries me, whenever it comes to like bookings like the LWO, they don't really get the love that they deserve. Ligado del Fantasma. I love Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza, and I think they're impressive as hell. They kind of, dropped the ball in terms of creative and storylines for them. Hopefully this goes good. I think it will. Under the Triple H Paul Levesque era, I think it will be better. But it's exciting. Whenever new stars, are set to debut, I'm excited. All right, and lastly, we got SmackDown. Now it's SmackDown's turn. SmackDown moving to the USA Network will be a 3 hour show as well. Wow, that's huge. I don't really know what to make of that. Maybe, I definitely think all the stars on SmackDown, you could kind of have like a Monday Night Raw kind of thing, filling in that Friday night 5 o'clock spot on the USA Network. It's gonna be so crazy to have Monday night with no Raw on the USA Network. It's gonna be crazy. Wow. Wow. But when I heard about the SmackDown being 3 hours now, like, I get it. I think that WWE could definitely put in some fillers there, hit up some promos and some storylines or like maybe push, a younger superstar to be like, bigger. I definitely think they should now introduce a mid-card women's division belt. Definitely for sure now. The women's intercontinental and the women's United States championship would be would be probably appropriate if both shows are going to be 3 hours. So, it's kind of cool. You know what I mean? I'm, always open to watch new things in terms of professional wrestling. It's going to be SmackDown was never 3 hours. It was always Raw. So, kind of, when they go to the USA Network, they're going to be 3 hours. So, kind of new, exciting. That's awesome. Innovative. I like it. All right, guys. So that's it for me. Friday. Hope you guys had a great Friday. Hope you guys had a great week of work. Those who had the weekends off, I envy you. I do have Monday off, so I mean, I do have Sunday, Monday off, so I can't be I can't complain too much. But overall, make sure you guys have a great, safe weekend. Hug your loved ones, and just have fun, enjoy life. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Remember to follow us on Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for more content and updates. Superman punch that like a subscribe button to the show. Also, if I have not made you a wrestling fan by now, we have a bunch of other sports podcasts. NFL is huge right now. We have the GSMC Football Podcast with Kenneth. We have the Chip Shot Football Podcast with Manny when it comes to football. In comes fantasy sports. We got the GSMC Fantasy Sports Podcast with Chris Shepard. Find your startums, your sit-ums, who to pick up off the waiver wire, who to drop after they haven't really performed up to par, which could be a couple of players on my team. DeAndre Swift, man, why are you doing this to me? I'm just kidding. We also have, all around sports. We have sports by GSMC with Jeremy. We got this GSMC Sports podcast with TJ. We also got basketball with my man Nelson. We got college football on Saturdays. Tomorrow should be pretty awesome. We got, college football podcast with my boy Tommy. So make sure you tune in to all those podcasts. They're super cool guys. 1,010%. We're all boys. I'm just kidding. No, they're good guys. They're really, I don't know. I watch their podcasts and I just learn more and more how to be better based on, basically all the stuff that they're doing on their shows. It's 110% entertaining as hell. Keep you on the edge of your seat. I give you the Eric Rodriguez guarantee that you will never, ever, ever regret subscribing to the GSMC Sports Network. So, like I said, that's it for me. Have a lovely weekend. Stay beautiful, but most importantly, love you.